I'm resident of Colorado from YouTube. Jill Sains, that is my buddy Patrick. McCray, that is my buddy Gallant. We're here to review Sunset Boulevard. William Holden is in this thing. Very famous director is in this movie. Cecil B. DeMille.
And Eric von Stroheim,
Yeah.
also famous in his day.
Yeah, you actually get Billy Waller is directing this thing, so it's going to be fun. Because that man does not do bad movies.
No, he doesn't.
So this is very interesting. You have a dead man narrating his death, pretty much.
Just like the last movie we reviewed.
Yeah.
Which is why we're talking about it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's dead guy narrator week.
That's right.
Yeah, we reviewed Vice, which had a dead guy narrating the story, and you have a guy in the pool, William Holden's character, who's dead, and he's narrating the story. And man, if you're looking for happily ever after in this movie, you've come to the wrong movie.
No,
that's true.
But that's what makes. Here's the thing. I want to get you guys' thoughts.
If you're looking for tawdry, you're in the right.
Oh yeah.
To me, this is what makes Sunset Boulevard so good, because it has an ambiguous ending sense.
It is. It's. I think everybody else goes on with their lives. He dies, and Nora goes off to the funny farm, and Max probably goes with her. He's just very devoted. Very devoted.
As it turns out, he's also a psychiatrist.
That's right. That's right. But I think probably the person that ends up the happiest is the one that was the most PO'd at the end of her final scene, and that was the would-be girlfriend, who probably ends up doing okay writing because of the encouragement that she got, and she goes off with the Jack Webb's character. But
Jack Webb is a hipster.
Yeah.
He really is. He's a jazz age hipster in this.
He is, and it's one of the few things he ever did where he actually had any kind of an emotional range whatsoever. Jack Webb, of course, for those of you who don't know, was the producer, director, writer, and star of Dragnet for many, many years. Two different versions of it, the 50s version and the 60s version. And he was very taciturn, and not because he's playing this, police detective, and he's just very much like this the whole time. Incredibly successful producer. He produced other television series too. Along
Project UFO.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff and made a great deal of money doing what he was doing, but he was not really a rangy actor.
Now, what exactly was Jack Webb's involvement with Myra Breckinridge?
I have no idea.
None. But just imagine.
Shall we that would be like have him playing the Rex Reed role.
Sure. Or John Huston.
Okay, Jack, you gotta be more flamboyant. Okay, you gotta do. If you don't do it right, Jack, we're going to put you in the dress. Okay.
Well, yeah, I keep thinking of Jack Webb and Harry Morgan in La Caja Fall.
Yes. But it's a coin flip as to who is.
It's like Beckett. They go back and forth.
Switch roles every other night, right? Oh Lord.
When did you guys first see this movie, Alan?
I saw this movie back in the 70s. It made the rounds on regular television. It was part of a package at one point in time. Probably on a Saturday night or something, when I was a teenager, probably, 15, 16, 17, somewhere around.
Yeah, it's a good age to see the movie.
Yeah, it kind of messed me up a little bit.
Well, because it really reveals, so you're working hard to become an adult. You're being told to be disciplined and focused so that you can be an adult. Now, here are some adults. And they're nothing like that at all.
No, they're not. And one thing it does to you when you're 15 or 16 is it makes you terrified of women.
Oh, sure.
They're going to shoot you if you mess up, man.
Yeah, all I can say is mission accomplished.
Yes, exactly. total block.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done, Hollywood. I'm an emotional cripple thanks to you.
Thank you. Thank you. However, all levity aside, it's a brilliant film,
It
and
is.
with some brilliantly drawn characters. Not the least of which is Nora Desmond, um, who is wonderfully played by a resurgent Gloria Swanson, who at the time is around 50, 51, I guess you said?
Yes.
Yeah. And she's great. She's fantastic. There are times talk about somebody with range. There are times when you feel like this woman is like, she goes from pushy to crazy to you feel sorry for her, and then back again, and she's kind of, there's a lot going on there. And it's not it starts out to be like the standard gigolo kind of relationship, but it goes way beyond that. And also the character of the butler, chauffeur, Max, who it turns out was her director when she was in silent films.
And her husband, right?
And her first husband.
Yeah.
Is also intensely devoted to her, but also is like the voice of letting this young guy know what's going on. It's like he's concerned about him too. It's interesting character development and relational.
And the author of her fan letters.
Yes, he did everything to make her feel like she was still the greatest star ever. Because and of course it's been satirized many times because it's that kind of a old Hollywood relationship.
And it was satirizing old Hollywood relationships anyway.
That's correct. It really was. And I mentioned before we started recording, it's like a film within a film within a film within a film. And it makes commentary on all that stuff. And one of the things is in the bridge match, all of those people sitting at that bridge table are former silent movie stars. Many of them were still working, obviously, in character roles. The most famous of them was Buster Keaton.
Sure. And then in terms of, people from that era still working, none, I think, really can top Mr. DeMille.
No, and he was in several films. I mean, he wasn't an actor per se, but he also narrated the Ten Commandments and, was the voice of God.
And he was just gearing up to make Ten Commandments.
That's correct.
So
correct.
his greatest achievements were still ahead of him.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and he, of course, was also a silent film era director.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So, both he and Swanson both had resurgence in the 50s, big time. And Gloria was in demand right up till she died, right up through the 70s, for sure. I mean, she was not in great classic movies in the 70s. I mean, The Killer Bees is not exactly a great classic, but it's kind of fun.
I had to think 20 years later, she would be in even greater demand here.
Right.
Norma Desmond would have wished.
Yeah.
But absolutely. I don't know if Norma Desmond would have allowed herself to make those movies.
Probably not. I think Gloria was interested in working.
Yeah.
I think that she had reached a point in her career, and there were others like Ginger Rogers who were working. I mean, Ginger Rogers, for God's sake, appeared on The Love Boat in the 80s.
Yeah.
Wanted to work. And so that's what they did. They didn't, they certainly had big egos in their heyday, I'm sure, but they probably made that sort of healthy mental adjustment.
And to think this is only 3 years before Singing in the Rain.
Right.
Would be released with very similar themes.
Mm-hmm.
About what do we do with these silent film stars?
Right. Yeah.
When the medium shifts completely out from under them.
Yeah, and of course it was a big deal then. People were trying to work. Many of them were getting some work, but they weren't A-listers anymore. But they were still very much a presence in Hollywood. They lived there, they stayed there, worked occasionally, and made appearances. And of course, a lot of their old fans remembered them and so they were nostalgia acts sometimes. But
Joel, there's an interesting parallel here later in the very late 1960s, early 1970s, when the MPAA first came out with the R rating. There were a lot of stars who could not continue. They weren't allowed to continue because they never had nipples or genitals installed. So they were incapable of appearing in these films, and it was very sad that and to think we had to wait until 2023 for Barbie to come out.
It's true.
Where they would have been perfect. Their physiques would have been ideal for that sort of thing.
Most of these actors could only hope to be in like an action figure commercial.
Oh, God.
Patrick, when did you watch this movie?
I was about maybe 17, and I had I worked at this movie theater. Everyone's sick of me talking about the Vogue in Louisville, which had this repertory calendar system, etc. And it was run by I can just say a real life Bob Dorian. It was this man who was just an encyclopedic expert on film, but was a very accessible person at the same time, and he was never insufferable about it.
A mentor type.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. And he was almost hesitant to expose me to classics because he, kind of like my father, thought that I would show some weird temporal prejudice. And I would say, oh, why is this in black and white? Or, oh, look at these special effects, which I never would say. No. It's like, guys, I know what these movies' limitations are. And not that that's even a limitation, but
no, it actually turns out that black and white films became their own art form and were a strength.
Sure. But I remember watching Sunset Boulevard, which was, he had the VHS with him, and for some reason he was over one day, and I said, oh, what's that? And he said, Sunset Boulevard. And I said, oh, I'd like to see that. Because I heard about it and read about it. And he said, well, I don't know if you'll. And I said, Carl, put it on. So he did. Yeah. And I remember about a half hour into it, I turned to Carl and I said, well, Carl, now I understand why classics are classics, because they're good, not because they're old and everyone says they're good and they have, some weird cultural cachet. Everyone's too afraid to try and Emperor's New Clothes their way at. No, they're classics because they're goddamn good movies. Yeah. Highly entertaining.
They transcend the so-called dated aesthetic.
Oh, completely. Yeah. Completely. And so, but even me having the words for that, I wouldn't have. Christ, are you still there?
I'm here.
Oh, good. I just got a notice of the battery waning, so I got to sort of fix that. Without Sunset Boulevard.
Right. I mean, obviously, it's one of those films that have always, I think, been well thought of.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's come into bigger popularity, in and out of bigger popularity, but it's always been well thought of.
Sure.
And I have yet to see the musical, but I'm told it's pretty darn good.
Which you don't hear about Andrew Lloyd Webber shows very much, being that. No. There are a lot of things, but really good is not often
spectacular. Popular, yes, you hear those things. Yeah. I mean, it's there are a few that I would say are pretty darn good. I think Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah,
and from what I hear, and I have not seen it yet, is Sunset Boulevard. So, but again, I mean, consider the material it's based on.
Phantom of the Opera got. Well, no, I wasn't going to include it. Was sued. He was sued over that by the Puccini family because the primary melody, was ripped off from a musical, or not a musical, an opera. A Western opera, Jewel, called "Girl of the Golden West." Girl of the Golden West. That melody was note for note ripped off, and it is the only opera I can think of that is A, a Western, and B, has a poker game as its climax.
Yes. Puccini, I think, became fascinated with tales of the Old West and, decided to sort of write his own version of that.
And by the way, I'm not a huge opera fan. It's a hell of a show. It's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a few. I have not seen it in its entirety, so I can't cash out on it yet. But there are a lot of operas that I enjoy, especially when I see them staged for the modern audience, like what Peter Sellers did with several of his productions in the
Yeah.
80s and 90s, particularly when he was hot and doing. He did Don Giovanni. He did La Boheme, and they were shot like they were filmed, and
Yeah.
and they
And,
were done like a film. They weren't just shot like on the stage.
and
They were done on a stage, but they were cameras
sure.
everywhere.
And Jewel, just so you know, that's Sellars.
Yeah, it's a
It's a
different guy. It's
different Peter Sellers
not
than
the
the
Pink Panther guy.
yeah. Which to
Yeah,
hear it, they're identically spoken.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Peter Sellers was one of the directors that we studied when I was an undergraduate.
Same with me.
Yeah.
One of the best things I got to watch, I told you guys this for Halloween, was Razorfist discussed every Phantom of the Opera movie and ranked and sort of gave his criteria of why he was putting them where they were: swashbuckling, singing, everything that should be involved, and really, really good video. Go check it out. But this movie is really great for another specific reason. Here comes your wrestling terminology. Gloria Swanson, the character in this movie, is a mark for herself. Heavily. She's her biggest fan. Not the guy writing her the letters, her herself.
Yes, no, absolutely.
It gets into not just obsession, it does get into that, but the one thing I'll say is it also gets into the writer aspect of Hollywood, where this guy did not want to be poor anymore. He got tired of his ideas. Just hand an idea, get rejected. Hand an idea, get rejected. He found a cushy life, and
he took it. Yeah,
took it.
Yeah, Joel. With that though, the interesting thing is that when we meet him, it's hard to feel that sorry for him because he's living this terrible life, but his creativity is not quite ripe. It's we don't have the oh boy, he really was overlooked. He could have been a contender. No,
right.
he's not at that point in the movie.
No, he was a has-been. He was a has-been by this time we see him. He'd actually done a couple things, but then he'd like dried up. So he was now broke and everything else. And there is a commentary about how cutthroat Hollywood is in this movie, obviously.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And Fred Clark is amazing as a studio executive.
Yes. 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 It's like,
well,
and the guy who plays the agent's great too. He says, "I couldn't give you $300, but look, I'm your friend." God,
Well,
perfect.
When I watched this movie, I watched it in 1998, and going into that aspect of the writer aspect of it is, I remember hearing about the original Green Lantern writer committing suicide because he was never paid for his work. I mean, so I took that into aspect as I watched this movie, and sort of did feel sorry for the guy that he was like handing stuff in and getting it rejected, and kind of like, okay, because when he's dead in the pool, I'm thinking to myself, did this guy at first do it to himself when I watched this for the first time, and then when I watched the movie, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. She blew him away. She blew him away.
No.
The thing about this too is the cynical voice of William Holden. I always loved it. It's like it's this way, and of course it's complete crap. But here we are anyway. It's that kind of attitude, which he softens at different times to give it complete growth and fullness and completeness. But I love that William Holden voice, the way that he just sort of self-describes himself.
it occurs to me he would have made a hell of a Batman.
Might have, yeah. Yeah. If he'd been a few years younger in the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if he'd been in his 30s instead of his 40s.
Well, by that point, he's Dark Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You're right.
Yeah.
Be a stretch for Greenway Productions to do Dark Knight, though, I think.
It certainly, I can only imagine what a Dark Knight done back then would have been like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but this movie is really good. It gets into noir, it gets into obsession,
Yep.
and it gets into Hollywood in every way.
It's shot. I mean, it's like the weird thing is Nora Desmond's life is like a Hollywood film in her mind. So you get these shots, you know, when she's talking to him. Sometimes it goes into soft focus and comes back out of it, and all this sort of thing. So you get a chance to see what's going on in her mind in terms of how she's seeing outwardly the world. And then other times you're seeing William Holden's outwardly the world. So it's quite brilliantly done, really.
Yes. And to see like Cecil B. DeMille act, though he's a director, act more like a wrestling promoter in this situation, like was just so badass.
Yeah. He's trying to be nice to her, but he's also like trying to get her off the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, sorry.
We
I
just
can't
wanted
put you
your
over
car.
anymore. That was 20 years ago. I put you over. I can't do it now. Sorry. You can.
Yeah,
I tell you what. I'll give you a Legends contract. You can show up and give an interview every once in a while. How about that? Yeah. Now, can we borrow your car?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. The car borrowing. How sad.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the unkindest cut. That was
really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you think about the deals that get made for movies, I mean, look at Betsy Palmer. The reason she took Mrs. Voorhees was so she could get a new car.
She could buy a new car, and she didn't think anybody was ever going to see the damn thing. And she turns out, hey, I'm being invited to conventions.
Over
that?
Over that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Jason's mommy. We want Jason's mommy.
Could you imagine if the woman who played Alice in the Brady Bunch took the role?
Ann B. Davis?
That would have been awesome.
They offered it to her.
No, they offered this to Ann B. Davis?
They wanted a middle-aged woman.
That would have been awesome.
She was a very sort of corn-fed Midwestern kind of gal. Now she performed into her 80s. I saw her around, I don't know, it was after the year 2000 in Crazy for You, the national tour of that.
Yeah.
And she was great.
Yeah, she was like in her early 40s when she was first on the Brady Bunch, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I love this movie. It's really great. What's you guys' favorite scenes? I don't know.
Anything with her hands. When she goes into this.
Oh God, the Rhapsody. Yeah.
It's just amazing. Great choice. I mean, she knew people like this as a silent film actor who kind of kept working, and she probably knew people that were just living in the past all the time. She was not one of those people, not at all. But yeah, there were plenty of them that were doing that, holed up in their mansions or whatever. She talks about she made money in investments and all this other crap, and she's totally rich, which, would satisfy probably a normal ego, after having a nice career for, 15 years or so in silent films. And then, but not Nora Desmond, whose ego is completely and utterly fragile and needy and, a giant black hole that needs to be filled. And she embodied that character so well. And this whole thing and the eyes and the arching of the eyebrows and all this sort of thing, where she's going.
Guys, I'm sorry. I gotta bow out for a second.
Yeah.
There's somebody with an issue.
Oh, cool. But that whole thing, because that was sort of a psychological and physical gesture that sort of let you know that she's off in La La Land. A lot of the time she was doing that. She was either doing it to manipulate and be grand and impress, which was earlier in the film, or later in the film, it was this desperate thing like, no, 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 they want me, that sort of thing. And she'd go into that whole thing of being a silent film star, which is there's a lot of physical acting in it. Interesting stuff. Really, really interesting choices.
The fact that they take this house, it's just huge, and when they're filming the inside of this place, they're showing this woman has all these things. She has a movie theater. She has a collection of her own stuff. Yes. It's like, my God, could you be more of a mark? No, you cannot.
No, she indulged herself in being a star even after she wasn't one. Yeah.
Yes, and the poker game is like the icing on the cake.
Yeah, these people are like, okay, I guess it's nice to be around Nora. She's rich. It's kind of a cool house, but what are we doing here, really?
You're rich, but you're too cheap to fix the roof, dog.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's several rooms in the house that are opulent, and the rest of the house is kind of run down.
Yeah, it's like, basically this is like worse than the old house here. This is just
really
sad.
Seriously, can we get plumbing in this house, Nora?
Yes, there's somebody actually living in this house, and it looks this bad.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole turn at the beginning of the film, because he walks up to the house and it looks abandoned. On the outside, it's all overgrown and stuff, and he parks the car inside of a garage where one of the doors is broken off of it, and this woman is loaded, but she doesn't give a shit. She doesn't care.
It's like, no, we're not fixing up this place now.
No, I'm just going to sit here and reminisce about the old days. And
when I first watched this movie and I saw how bad the house was, I'm thinking, I'm waiting for them to just sit there and something to fall down or some shit. But no, I mean, and maybe that's like just the gag in the film in itself.
It kind of is, but it's also a hint as to the character of Norma Desmond. She is psychologically, she is ramshackled. She is falling apart.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is generally what a serial killer looks like.
Yeah, it's right. Come on in.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, Gloria Swanson
holding her cigarette in that weird little wire holder thing there. It looks like she's smoking her J or something. But
the cigarette cases too.
Yeah.
And he goes. The fact when they go into the drugstore too is one of my favorite sequences, because he sees the one girl who keeps calling, and the other guy answers the phone. He's like, "No, he's not here. He's upstairs."
Yeah.
But but when they're actually on the Paramount bar, because the security's right there. And they're like, oh, and the security wants her to go away because they don't know who she is, except for one dude.
Yeah, because that dude had been there for 30 years.
Yeah, he'd been there for a
long time. You remembered her.
Yeah. And then
you figure at that point it's kind of a misdirect, because you think, oh, maybe it's going to go well.
Yeah. And then he picks up the phone. Yeah, give me this. And they're answering the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That was so good. I mean, it's just... This film is a classic to this day because it's so good. Because you literally have a corpse in the fucking. That's how
they never explain about the monkey, which is awesome. They don't have to. It's just so weird,
right? Right? Do you really need to?
No, it's just weird, and that's what it's supposed to be. So
if they ever redid this for the hell of it, I would literally want a baby gorilla. And don't explain it.
No, that's the whole thing. She doesn't even talk about it after. She just talks about it in oblique terms, like, what kind of coffin can you get me? How much is it going to cost? She doesn't even mention that my beloved chimp has died or anything like that. Doesn't say a word about any of that.
Or better yet, a python. And then have her be holding the python.
Alice Cooper is her son.
Yes. Alice Cooper is the butler. He's the husband.
There you go.
Have Alice Cooper as the husband, and he just gets handed the python. He just sets it aside, and nobody explains a goddamn thing.
That's right. That's right. It is. It's perfect that in writing that script they said, we're going to put this in here and let the audiences just get either creeped out by it or say, what's going on with that, and just leave it. Leave it on the floor.
That's the thing about this too. Like, when you see it starts us off with the dead body, you're thinking, is this a horror movie? It's like, no, it's a crime movie in a sense,
right?
But then you see this little chimpanzee, and it's like, why the fuck is that here? Like, we're not saying shit.
No,
we're not saying it.
Whatever that history was, you'll have to make it up yourself.
It's not like the dead dog in John Carpenter's Halloween. You know why that dog is dead.
No.
Oh,
I'm thinking the chimp just died of boredom being around that house all day long.
I'll tell you this. I was literally waiting for the chimpanzee to be put up as collateral for the poker game. I'm like, literally, when I was watching this for the first time all those years ago, I'm thinking, okay, they're going to use this chimp for something. No, they don't. But that's what makes it funny.
Yes.
Like, that shit there is hilarious.
Yep.
the fact that the guy who directed her is her first husband, and you're right. He does, like, he's concerned about William Holden's character.
He is, unbelievably. I mean, that's one of the things that kind of like, oh, really? You're actually, he basically confides all this stuff in him because he knows, and it's, his loyalty to Norma Desmond is one thing, but he also is like, I guess maybe he's trying to, like, ameliorate things and make sure everything's okay. Which is another odd thing, the ex-husband doing all of this sort of arranging this relationship kind of thing. So.
In many ways, it kind of, in a slight way, reminds me of, Ed and Lorraine Warren, where when Lorraine would not shake somebody's hand, and she confided in Ed, and Ed would usher them along. But like, it's okay, son. Like, and just usher him along. But in this case, this he's a little more concerned about the other people. When, like, you're right, his loyalty to her, you'd think he wouldn't be, but no, he's trying to make sure. Okay, you're okay with her being like this, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. He wants to make sure everything works,
right? And for her too, like, so it's not like getting weird,
right?
And, like, when he comes back from helping that girl, right, he's like, so she's a wake up.
Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna go up there and do something now. Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing too, like, you're not, when he comes back, when Holden's character comes back, I was not expecting her first husband just to be standing there, and it's like, that dude's creepy. He's creepy, but it's like, okay, you get why he's concerned about this whole thing.
He's totally, like, he's not possessive of her. He's just totally loyal to her.
Yeah.
So if this relationship works out, maybe she won't be as weird anymore, or something like that.
I think that's what he's just hoping for, that she just snaps out of this shit.
Yeah.
But she never does.
Never does. No.
And then once he realizes, okay, she's gone, it's like he's there to go with her. Like, he was, you know what? I honestly, here's where I let him off the hook too on some things. I don't think he ever thought she'd shoot somebody with that gun.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's a person that became extremely loyal to a person that just kind of lost their stuff. you know, they lost their way. And, you know, he's doing the best he can. No, I don't think he thought for a minute she was going to do that. I think he was completely shocked by that once he realized that that's what she had done.
I was waiting because when she has the gun, I'm literally waiting, and this is what the shocking part is, it going on.
Right.
Because with as constant as he checks, and I think this is why I say he didn't think she'd do it. I was waiting for him to unload the gun and us never see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or they pull like this okey doke. Okay, he unloads it, but we don't see it. No, he just honestly thought she shoots them.
She's either going to just brandish it, or he's going to stand around in case she decides to commit suicide and stop her.
Yeah, because she tried to commit suicide.
She's tried to kill herself before.
Yeah. Yeah, she tries to slit her. You don't see it, but she tries to slit.
Yeah, you just see the bandages.
Yeah, you just see the bandages. Which I like how it's done. It's like up here, down.
Yeah.
On both arms too.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. She was going for it, no doubt.
Oh my gosh, she does have a nice car though. She does have a nice.
Oh,
car.
that's an awesome car. Yeah, that's like a 3-ton car, man. That thing is massive.
I saw an old, what was it, 57 Chevy recently at a car lot.
Oh, that's cool. I'll tell you the kind of car you ever see. It's a once in a lifetime thing. That's a doozy, a Duesenberg. Those things are amazing. All the Hollywood stars had them back in the 30s. Hitler had one. I mean, everybody that had money owned a damn Duesenberg. They were the most popular big car, along with like a Rolls Royce or something like that. But the Duesenbergs were bigger and more powerful than the Rolls Royce, and they were massive. And I think, actually, Jay Leno, I think, owns one of those.
Yeah, he's a car guy. I wouldn't.
He's got like a warehouse full of cars.
It's like when you go to these Comic Cons, you don't just see people. You see like the Kit car, you see the freaking Knight Rider car, you'll see the car from Bullet. It's like you'll see all sorts of like stuff from movies or TV shows. Freaking Christine shows up at these fucking the car.
Yeah.
So you'll see some shit, for sure. So it's just that crazy. So yeah, the fact that they just wanted their car, that's crazy. What do you give this 1 out of 10?
Oh, it's a 10. It's a classic movie, AFI classic. It's a 10, absolutely, all time. I put it in the like my top 10 or 15 of all time. So,
yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
This was not the first William Holden movie I saw. The first one I saw was Stalag 17.
It's also an excellent movie.
Which is also a really good movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But this movie is really, really interesting. It's a very good like character study of a person in a lot of ways. Really many people too.
Yeah, I mean everybody that's in her orbit.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Let's see. What are you guys doing tomorrow? I know Patrick.
I don't know. Let me take a look real quick. See if I've got anything here. Let's see. Hold on a second. Figure it out here. Maybe another Billy Wilder film might be fun. Have you ever seen The Apartment?
Long time ago.
Yeah, that might be a cool one to do. Jack Lemmon, Shirley MacLaine, Fred McMurray, Ray Walston, Edie Adams. It's from 1960, the year I was born. That's a suggestion. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get Patrick back. Probably not. I think he had to deal with some stuff. But you can ask him if he would be interested in doing The Apartment, or if he has another choice that he'd like to do, because I'm not wedded to anything at this point.
Yeah. I'll ask him here.
Yep.
So, for, I'm sure Patrick gave this a 10. It was that good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I don't really speak for other people here, but
no, I think that's safe. I think
this movie's that good.
Yeah.
And if you, for the wrestling fans, and this is a movie you need to go watch. To fully understand the term mark, watch this movie.
Yes. Self-delusional mark.
Yeah, and to watch the people around her and sort of how they respond. Each individual too, because they that's what's great about the movie. They each bring their own characteristic. They're not her. They don't try to a guy's loyal to her, but he's also checking other people.
Too. Yeah, he's his own guy. He's got his own personality. He's not completely a zombie about her. So
he's probably still writing the letters in the lead.
Yeah, probably sending him to prison. Miss Desmond, look, 100,000 letters for you.
Do they put Gloria Swanson in San Quentin, you think, or?
Oh no, they probably put her in a criminally insane asylum. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, she's in the cemetery for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. There are characters that, she's, because there's no way you're convicting that woman sane.
No.
There was
no.
Out of all the things in this movie, trust me, the one thing concerned is this one's just gone.
Yeah, she's. The last half hour of the film, she just sort of gradually loses even more touch with you.
And the makeovers are sort of a telltale job too. The whole getting ready for this big role.
Yes,
it's.
I mean, that's the ultimate manifestation of her insanity at that point.
Alice has gone down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
But her name isn't Alice.
Her name is Norma Desmond.
That's right.
The rabbit is not helping her.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not dealing with this at all. You'll have to find your own way.
Yeah, Gloria Swanson does an amazing job. I mean, Norma Desmond, huge, just wonderful performance. If there was a silent star you wanted to see in this movie that wasn't,
No.
But yeah, this movie's fun. So
it is what it is.
We'll see about the apartment for tomorrow night. Link to Patrick McCray's Dark Shadows Day book about is going to be in the description box. Link to Alan Gallant's YouTube channel, Colin's Porch After Dark. It's going to be in the description box. Go check it out. You guys have a good night.
Later.
See you later.